Hey, Zack here from Frontenac Outfitters Canoe Kayak Center. Today we are having a look at the MSR Mutha Hubba 3P. I love that name, Mutha Hubba. What a great name. The Hubba series of tent's been around for a while with MSR. It's gone through a couple renditions, some tweaks, and I think they have finally landed on one of the best versions yet. Using extreme shield waterproofing, the seams are all pre-sealed, so there's nothing to worry about. It comes with a little bit of extra seam sealant in the bag. So let's take it apart and have a look. So one of the first things you'll notice is, compared to traditional tents, is just the stuff sack design. It's using like a wide mouth duffel, which I think is really, really creative. It makes getting everything back into the bag, including the poles, really, really easy. On the inside flap, got instructions, so if you forget how to put your tent together, it's all there. Honestly, I haven't put together the Mutha Hubba before, but I put the Hubba together, and those have been a couple of the easiest tents to set up ever. And I don't think this is going to be any different, just a little bit bigger. Hold me. Inside you're going to find a bit of Gear Aid seam sealer. This is a fast cure seam sealant. The seams on the fly all come pre-sealed, but it's nice that they include this because down the road, if you do notice they're starting to weep a little bit, you're just going to apply this and you're going to get years of use out of it. So that's really, really nice that they add that in there. All right, first thing we're into here is the poles. So these are an Easton aluminum pole called the Cyclone. Really, really cool looking. It's an aluminum pole. Looks like it's got a carbon fiber outer casing on it. Really, really lightweight. For a 3-person tent, I mean, usually the poles take up the majority of the weight. And in this case, I'm sure they do, but it's like, it feels like nothing. I mean, this is like a pound of weight here. Whoa, all right. So another really interesting point here. I don't know if you can tell, but this is all actually one big pole. They've got a couple of hubs on here, hence the Hubba, and make this kind of big H pattern. But honestly, it's going to keep things really simple when we go to set up the tent. So we're just going to set this off the side. All right, so we got it set up really easy. Ben gave me a hand. It is a 3-person tent, so ideally you're probably going to have somebody else with you just because of the size of it. It wouldn't be nearly difficult to do on your own. But having that extra set of hands to kind of get the other poles in at the same time definitely made things a little bit easier. This thing is huge, holy moly. Like this is like the minivan of tents going on here. I really like it. Lots of mesh going around all the way, so you're gonna get a ton of breathability through it. Nice big tall canopy inside. There is a ton of livable space in here. The walls on each side just kind of shoot upwards and it looks really, really good. Solid. We're gonna get the fly on and really check it out. All right, so we got the fly on. It was definitely easier with 2 people. This is a big tent. For a 3-person, it almost looks more like a 4-person. Let's go have a look inside. So the first thing, our entrances are actually on the end of this tent, which I think is really, really good for a 3-person. That means nobody's gonna have to kind of crawl over each other to get into the tent, or if you gotta take a bathroom break in the middle of the night, you can just kind of get up and out the end. The vents on this guy are right here on the vestibule, one on each end. So again, you can kind of keep that airflow running across the top of the tent, keeping condensation down to a minimum. Another nice feature on the vestibule fly here is this little rain gutter feature. And so what happens is the rain's going to come down here, hit this trough, and kind of pour down to the side. As opposed to coming across, if it's pouring rain, it's going to get wet regardless. But it is a nice little feature when you do get that dew build up, kind of just going to hit here and roll off. Vestibule actually, it looks smaller from the outside, but once you open it up, it's actually a pretty decent size. So you've got 2 of these, one on each end, lots of room for gear. If you wanted to use one basically just to house all the gear and just use one as an entrance, that would work really, really well. Zippers on the door, super smooth. There was no kinking there. Nice lightweight nylon material. I believe this is a 20D ripstop nylon. The bathtub floor here is all seam sealed, waterproof. Using I believe what's a 30D ripstop nylon to give you that extra durability. I do recommend using a footprint with all your tents, whether it comes with one or not. The Hubba series does not come with a footprint, but you can purchase it separately. It can be used underneath the tent or inside, whatever your preference is. I prefer to put them under the tent. Some people, and honestly it all depends where you're using it. Some people prefer to put it in the tent, but what it does is just provide you with an extra layer of durability for the tent, but also some extra waterproofing. If you get some heavy downpours, water starts to pool up in and around the tent, it's going to keep that water, keep your sleeping bag and sleeping pad dry. So inside we've got a couple of nice big gear pockets in the front, and on the back side there you can stuff a flashlight in there to kind of create a lantern effect. Tie down points in here in the corners, one in the middle if you want to hang a little lantern. So there's lots of options here for hanging a gear loft and different accessories. Welcome to Frontenac Cribs. Yeah, I've never set up this tent, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I haven't. I really think this might become my go-to family tent. This thing it's big, but it's light. It seems really solid. There's a lot of tie-down points on the outside. I will note that it did not quite come with enough pegs if you need to fully guy line everything out for severe weather, which is not uncommon with a lot of tents. It's always worthwhile making sure you've got a couple extra pegs. You can always use stuff in the field, rocks, or kind of fashion your own peg as well if you need to. It does come with a lot of guy line material. But again, as always, having a little bit of extra paracord or guy line cordage with you is always a good idea if the weather does take a turn. But overall, tons of headroom in here. The walls go up really, really nice and straight to give you a lot of livable space. This, like I said, this really feels more like a 4-person tent than a 3-person. As I'm laying here on the floor, I can see that space would get eaten up really quickly with 3 bodies in here. But wow, overall, I think this is a really, really killer design. All right, well, this is the MSR Mutha Hubba. I'm really impressed. I like the size of this tent. I like the packability of it. The livability of it's huge, and that's a big thing for me when I'm looking for a tent is kind of the interior space. We've got a small family with us, and I think this would work really, really well for that situation. Anyway, if you want to have a look online, frontnacoutfitters.com. Give us a call, send us an email. Thanks for watching.